Hi everyone, it's Yvette Blowitz from Spaitgirl.com and welcome to the Spaitgirl Talk Show podcast. I'm super excited to be here with you today in this online audio space and with our very special guest, Nina Hargrave, who's the founder of Serene Body Health. Nina, how are you?
Hello, thank you for having me.
Yes, now you are down in Melbourne at the moment, and I'm really sorry to hear and see what's playing out in Melbourne, Victoria, because you're in stage 4 lockdown.
We are, we've still got a few weeks to go. So there's not much we can do. I'm sort of getting used to it now and just accepting it. But yeah, it's pretty tough. We're pretty restricted with what we can do.
Yeah, my heart goes out to you, and especially to everyone who's tuning in who may have lost a loved one during COVID-19. My heart goes out to you, thinking of you. But that is the reason I wanted you to come on the show, Nina, because your brand can help transform the way someone feels within. And you do 100% natural perfume oils, giving you the balance to be serene. They're alcohol-free, cruelty-free, they're Australian-made. And I just wanted to find out a little bit more. And can you share with our listeners a little bit more about yourself and what inspired you to want to start Serene Body Health?
Yeah, definitely. Serene Body Health has been going on for about 2 years now. So it's pretty young, the brand. And it started, I guess my journey of, self-care and self-discovery, it started a few years ago now, probably about 7 years ago. And I got into the beginnings of it were, I experienced grief. So I lost my sister and I lost my mum in a very short period of time. And so I then looked to things like meditation and I guess ways that I could, and more like, spirituality and things like that, so that I could kind of understand what was happening. And that's also when I had my young children. So it sort of all came at the same time. I got into meditation, started getting into mindfulness, and then I was just looking for more meditation courses that I could do. And I got into essential oils as well. So what I found really helpful was the combination of using essential oils with meditation and the practice of meditation. So I did, the mindfulness-based stress reduction course. And then I looked into another course that was more about teaching and guiding meditation. And that took me a few years to do. And that was really amazing. So it's all kind of been this journey that's really, it's been sort of founded, I think, in meditation. That's really what created the brand, I think.
Wow, I'm so sorry to hear about the loss of your sister and your mother.
Yeah,
really sorry to hear. That's just that is so tough. Like, I haven't lost my sister nor my mother, but I've had to face the potential of losing both. And this year my mum suffered with pneumonia and she had a seizure and went into a coma, but that was stressful enough. So through the grief, you discovered the meditation, which really helped. And then you studied meditation, and then you found the benefits of the essential oil to help. Yeah. And so you now combine doing your meditation also with your Serene Body Health.
Yes.
Products. Oils. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. So I use different oils, and I think I just became really obsessed with essential oils and just loved them, was just, so interested. And then I got really interested in blending. And so because my background is horticulture and landscape architecture, so I've always had that fascination with plants and trees and, the natural world. So it was like combining that with, the meditation and the mindfulness, and kind of, putting it into a product, I guess.
Wow. Can I ask, if we have a listener out there and they're feeling, as an example, really overwhelmed because they are in the stage 4 lockdown, they're feeling anxious, kind of like trapped, that feeling of not being able to do what they could normally do. Apart from them obviously doing some meditation, what would you think out of your oils, out of your products, would be a good scent or aroma that they could bring in just to help sort of calm, like the nerves, and just sort of make them feel a little bit stressed?
Definitely the Rest. It's this Rest essential oil, perfume oil. This is really, really popular. This is my favorite one, and I use it every single night. And the other one is Ground. So these two have been really popular at the moment because, of everything that's going on. And they are perfume oil, so you can wear them like perfume, but the most benefit that you will get from them is really if you sort of rub them in the palms of your hands and then breathe them in deeply. So it's sort of like, it's like using it as a tool. So you have to do the work and you still have to do the deep breathing or, the meditation, but it does work really. I think scent is such a powerful thing, and particularly really good quality essential oils. If you breathe the oils in, I find a lot, it does really work quite well. It is quite calming.
That sounds amazing. Sounds amazing. So we could introduce, like you say, put the product in our hands.
Yes.
And then
in the palms like this.
Yes. For everyone tuning in, you'd get the product, you'd put it in your palms, and then inhaling.
Yeah.
And exhaling. And can we inhale through our nose, exhale through our mouth?
Yes.
Or inhale through nose and exhale nose? It doesn't matter, does it, either way?
Do as well as you can do, hold, breathe in for 2, hold for 2, out for 2, or even breathe in for 5, hold for 5. Just depends on which breathing technique works. But then I also find that for people, say, who are asthmatic or very, have sort of issues with their breathing, sometimes counting isn't the best. So then they just, like, whatever feels right for them.
Yeah. Wow. And I see that what I really love is you use the natural botanical perfume oils, but they're made with no harsh chemicals, and they're for your self-care routine at home, work, or anywhere. You were really inspired to use like the purest, highest grade essential oils.
Yeah.
And to go natural. And you talk about how the aromas can nourish and inspire the 5 states of being. And just for anyone, so what really inspired you? Obviously, your products are cruelty-free, chemical-free, 100% natural, Australian-made, which I absolutely love, because I'm such a firm believer that we can do self-care rituals, whether that's skincare or things for our well-being or our mental health, but we don't have to harm an animal in order to do that, because if we're really conscious beings, then we can do all of these amazing things, but it doesn't have to come at the risk or the harm of an animal. So you're obviously a huge animal lover.
Yeah, I love animals, definitely. And I think also, like, yes, they're vegan, they're cruelty-free. And I think a lot of the, another important thing to touch on, I think, is that they're not harming, like a lot of products a lot of them have synthetic fragrance, which actually harms us as well. So a lot of people are using products, particularly perfume, and it has synthetic fragrance in it, and you don't know what's, this is like a whole lot of unlisted, chemical ingredients that people just have no awareness of. And they're using these ingredients, every day. And when you sort of start to look at your ingredients on your products, you realize that pretty much almost everything has synthetic fragrance in it. So, big thing as well, I think, just becoming more aware of what you're putting on your body so that you're not harming yourself.
Yeah, I love that. And I love all the names you have. You have Amplify, Aware perfume oil, Ground.
Yeah.
That's so important at this time. Lift perfume oil, Rest perfume oil. So can I ask, when it comes to your own self-care tips or self-care rituals, what are some things that you are currently doing during COVID-19 just to keep that balance between working at home? You've got young kids, you're doing at-home schooling at the moment.
Yeah.
And then you've got yourself so what are some of your self-care rituals? So you are there helping everyone else to feel good through your Serene Body Health products, but what do you do to make yourself feel good?
Yeah. One really important thing for me is that I get out and go for a walk. And just, I think, with this second lockdown, I've kind of had to strip everything back and get really back to basics and really work out, what it is that's really important for me. And definitely walking the dog, with the children or without the children, as long as, I get out and go for a walk at least, once a day is really important. And that I take some time to, use my essential oils and do a minimum of, 10 minutes at least of meditation a day. So those are just my basics.
I love your basics. So it's getting out, doing the walking, which I love too. And then the meditation at home, which I love. And I found, like you said, during just doing those two basic things, even for myself, during lockdown, the first lockdown, but just in general now during COVID, has been so helpful. Have you noticed with your children, they're obviously really well aware that they can't go out shopping, they can't do all the things that they could normally do. I see there's kids on Instagram crying because they can't go and play with their friends, and there's so much going on in the world. So are your kids well aware of that there's a virus out there, COVID-19, and they have to wash their hands and social distance? And because kids are really well aware of what's going on, don't they? How do they feel about at-home schooling? Are they like, this is awesome, or are they just actually missing all their friends and going to school?
They're really over it. They're like, we're used to it because we have to, but they from the start, they didn't like it at all. My older boy, who's in grade 3, he's very social and he loves school. So it's been, he has been a bit down at times. And my younger one, he doesn't mind being at home so much because he's not as social, but he just, the homeschooling is tough because it sort of takes all the fun stuff away from school, and then you're just rolling out the boring.
Because they like going to school, don't they, and seeing their little friends and hanging out and having playtime, and they want to leave the house and do this and
run around and play in the playground, and we can.
And you have had to adjust. Obviously, normally the kids would leave leave your house, and you'd be running your business without having to homeschool and have the kids at home. When it comes to sort of juggling everything, are you big on to-do lists? Like, I'm always fascinated with girl bosses or founders, how they carve out their time. Is it through calendar appointments? Is it through, I'm only going to do 3 things today?
Yeah. I definitely am a list person, but I'm not too strict with it. So I do write lists because it does help me stay focused. And these are the important things I need to do today. But I think just at the moment, it's sort of like you've got to be really kind to yourself as well. And so sometimes I think, I should be doing more with the kids, and, they shouldn't have so much screen time. And then I sort of think, do you know what, we're kind of doing the best we can,
Yeah.
and so you have to be pretty easy on yourself.
Yeah, I love that approach. You have to be pretty easy on yourself, because you're right. We never seen, in my time, I've never seen, Melbourne is renowned for being cosmopolitan. It's all about shopping, eating out. It's so diverse. And even in Australia, like, it's so weird. You normally just want to go in and give your friend a hug, or someone you haven't seen, and then you're like, oh, that's right, we have to social distance. And it's just like, it's so entrenched in us to socialize, to be outdoors, to do everything. And you're right, this is really reminding us of, for me, I feel like it's raised this higher conscious awareness of how we just, going for a walk is life. And it's a really great thing to be grateful to be able to do. And like you said, making the time to breathe in the essential oils and connect to your own breath. So I feel like it's really like just brought us back to, possibly for me, like the way Australia was when I was a little kid, to some extent, where it's so basic. Life is so basic now. It's food, shelter.
Exactly.
It's just really so different compared to, say, a year ago, when it was go, 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 go. And it was just so hard to keep up and everything like that.
And so kind of, complicated in a way. And I think even just in the last week, I think I've just started to accept it even more. And just, just even going through my old books and things like that, I've started reading a lot more than I have in a long time. And I've been going to bed really early. And I think it's just that acceptance now that, the lockdown, like, so I think the first one was a bit of a novelty.
Yeah.
And now, and it's even more strict. I kind of feel like it's like, wow, okay, now I'm really having to practice the things that I've been talking about all this time, but I'm really having to do the work. Like, I'm having to do, it's like we're all a work in progress. We're never kind of, yes, I'm getting up and meditating every day and it's all wonderful. It's all, ebb and flow, and we have good days and bad days. And, but yeah, I feel like I'm sort of really starting to practice even more this self-care and self-love, because it's a real process. It's a real process, kind of really accepting, who you are, and like in really loving yourself. I think that it takes time.
I agree, because this year is where I got to put my self-care rituals to test. So before, I'd been doing them, and life was very swimmingly. I was in the Maldives, had lots of travel shows, lots of opportunities, and it was so like abundant, so busy. And then everything kind of just come to a grinding halt. And I found that when my mum got critically ill and was in a coma and things, that was the time I arrived. Like, I had to continue to do the walk, show up to do the meditation, eat well, sleep well, and journal and read books, which I love doing, and I'm not going to stop now that I've rekindled that love for reading books regularly. But I agree, it was like the perfect training ground prior, like all of those years of dabbling in meditation and exercise and things, it was like, okay, now we're going to test. Does this really work? And what I have discovered is it does. If you keep showing up, like, I can't imagine how I would be, like, you know, mentally, physically, but particularly mentally and emotionally and spiritually, if I wasn't doing my meditation, my self-care rituals, going to bed, you know, at a reasonable time, reading to learn, because reading is so amazing. Reading, they have studies that it reduces your stress by 68%.
Oh, wow.
So it's a really good way to de-stress, unwind, learn. And I just love, you get lost, don't you, in the pages.
You do.
And it's
Really
just
nice.
feel good, and you just switch off from, whereas like, for me, I'm reading every day, like 20 minutes, or like just actively reading and loving it. And I used to love reading when I was a kid, Nina. I loved it. And then for some reason, everything, when it went online, especially the last couple of years, you might have felt the same. Oh, I'm too busy to read. I don't have time to read. And I was hearing this even as an author. Everybody was like, oh, I bought your book, but I haven't had time to read. And now I've got people going, I'm reading, I'm loving, I've finally got time to read that book that I bought and never read. So it's just, you're right. A work in progress, though. I'm too, like you say, have to accept where we're at. I'm in Queensland, so we are at the moment, thankfully, open for business and able to travel around. We don't need to go out and wear face masks and things, and we don't have community transmission with COVID-19, but we all feel like, ooh, you know, it's happening in Melbourne, and if it's happening in Melbourne, it can happen anywhere in Australia, or in the world. So we're sort of really grateful, I think, just so grateful at the moment, but conscious that we still have to keep the rising up, the social distancing, doing all the right things. But I was going to say, going back to your business here and brand, one of the things I really loved on your Instagram page, which is Serene Body Health, apart from all of your beautiful photos of your absolute favorite oil is rest, and I love how you say apply it to your wrists and necks and inhale, and you can feel the tension in the body ease immediately. But one of the things I really, really loved was you shared a beautiful post about Happy Boxes Project. And I loved how, first of all, I hadn't heard about this charity until I discovered it on your Instagram page, and then I discovered more about the charity and totally loved this charity, to the point where I'm like, oh, I need to do a podcast show with the founders of the charity. But these Happy Boxes Project is a charity organisation that supports Aboriginal women of all ages in Australia by sending out happy boxes that contain all kinds of staple and luxury self-care items. So you're getting involved and you're organising a happy box to send out. So this is going to be such a beautiful opportunity. So someone in a remote Aboriginal community is going to be super, super excited when they receive your happy box, because you're giving them in this box your beautiful 100% natural oils, and this must make you feel so good. Like, how exciting is this? This is beautiful. So Nina, what inspired you to want to sort of, I guess, devote your time to this charity?
Well, I think because of, you know, what was happening in America, you know, a few months ago, and we were sort of, so as Australians, we were sort of jumping on board and supporting that, you know, with the Black Lives Matter. And And then it sort of made us, I guess, sort of think, well, you know, as an Australian, you know, what about what's happening here in Australia? So then I just decided to shift, because I was doing some donating to some overseas charities. And then I sort of thought to myself, I think I'd prefer to put this into Australia. And so I was looking at some organisations that supported Aboriginal people in Australia, and that was the one that really stood out for me. So I got in touch with Emma, who's the founder of the Happy Boxes Project, and she was just lovely. And it just sounded, you know, because it's such a heavy topic, I just wanted to support something that was just so cheerful and, you know, such a happy idea. And then I wanted to get some other brands involved as well. And there are actually a lot of, there's quite a few brands, actually Australian brands that are involved and do send out products. And, you know, you can pack a whole box of one product, or I'm getting a few other brands involved and putting a mixture of different things in. So you can kind of do it any way you want.
Yeah,
it's really nice.
I really loved the model that you selected as well to share on your page was stunning.
Yeah.
I thought, wow, she could be on the cover of Vogue in Hollywood, on Australian TV. So gorgeous, so beautiful. And I also agree. I love the name Happy Boxes Project, and I love like sharing the gift of self-care. And how self-care can make you feel good from within, you know, can help your mental health, your physical, emotional, spiritual well-being. And I think, like, I remember being a kid, and whenever I got a gift from someone, it was just like the biggest deal. Like I was only remembering it today, even with my auntie who had a clothes shop in Sydney, Auntie Mimi. And she would send once a year these beautiful dresses from her shop. And it was like so profound. The gift of giving is like, I mean, she's passed now, but that gift each year, like I'll remember for the rest of my life. Like it was so just profound, because it was something I would not have normally buy because I was in a small country town. And yeah, so I think the gift of giving, but especially your products as well, which can really help de-stress and help someone like feel good, feel grounded. I just feel like it's such a gift, and we probably take it for granted because we can, like when you're not in lockdown and COVID-19, we have access to so many shops, so many brands, and, you know, getting to a spa or a salon, you know, generally is really just accessible. But if you're in a really remote community and you're not seeing all of this, I just feel that this is a really happy, positive way for all ages, for women, elders, girls. And I really hope it inspires them to want to really embrace the self-care rituals and practices and really step up in the future in the media space as well, and share, you know, things that they do to feel good from within. Because I think the more that we can share, like what you've done today, Nina, the meditation and things that have helped you with grief, I think for anyone who's going through grief now, they may have lost someone in Melbourne due to COVID-19, the knowing that they can, you know, slow down, smell the essential oils, which you have said has really helped your journey, and meditation to help with grief. I feel that, you know, if we can all share a little bit of our story and you know, help inspire each other through these challenging times, then that's really what community is all about.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
Yeah. Now, I could talk to you forever, Nina. That's why I called it a Spaitgirl talk show podcast. But I'm really conscious that 3 o'clock has ding, 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 hit the bell, and at home schooling is over. And It's just been amazing to talk to you, Nina, and I can't wait to watch your journey unfold. So for everyone who wants to stay in contact with you, what is the best way for them to do that now?
They can get in touch through Instagram, so they can just send me a direct message on Instagram, or my email address is on the website, serenebodyhealth.com.
Beautiful. And we should say that even if you're a guy, because self-care is for guys too, these products are unisex. So absolutely, absolutely, 100% for all of our guy listeners out there globally and in Australia. You are included. You're included. So we say goodbye to our beautiful guest, Nina Hargrave, who's the founder of Serene Body Health. She is helping people to feel good from within through her beautiful 100% natural perfume oils. And she shared some amazing self-care tips that she's doing right now during COVID-19 with the Melbourne stage 4 lockdown. Also, she opened up to share about her tragic, sad loss of her sister and mother, but from someone who has experienced grief firsthand. Nina is able to support you with her 100% perfume oils that are available. And also I hope this podcast show gives you hope that even if you're going through a really challenging time, you are grieving the loss of a loved one for any reason, that you can get through this and you will get through this. So just keep practicing your self-care rituals. Keep making time to do that walk or show up and do that meditation. Or as Nina said in the podcast show, just accept where you are and just be grateful that you're doing the best you can. So on that note, we will say a goodbye, and I will see you on the next Spirit Girl Talk Show podcast. Be sure to leave a 5-star rating and review, and to tell someone you love too. And stay connected with Spaitgirl on any podcast app or any social media app. I love you all to bits. I can't wait to find out what inspired you today by listening and tuning in. Bye for now.